Yo, what's good with you guys? Back in black with some enlisted news and fixes galore. They must have been pretty busy this week over at the gaming studio because there's actually a good amount of stuff to go over here. But really quick, before I get into it, I want to ask you guys, hit that subscribe button and drop a like. It really does help me out in the YouTube algorithm, especially for small channels, and it'll make sure you don't get you do get teammates that actually play the objective. Because unfortunately, I did not have any this game. But other than that, let's get into the news. Basically, what I'm about to do is go over what's new and provide some opinion and feedback. I actually encourage you guys to do the same thing in the comments, especially if you are on console. You actually notice for some odd reason the versions of the update are different from console to PC. I don't know if that's just because PC has like a newer version of it, or they get more priority or what have you. But the big ticket items in this update is that AI has been improved as far as targeting and detection, and the rally points have been reworked. That's the big ticket item for real right there. You guys are going to be super stoked about that one. Well, I guess depending on how you look at it. But basically, in a nutshell, allies can no longer destroy your friendly rally point, and when you spawn on rally points, you are no longer immune, which was probably the most annoying thing in the game if I had to, say anything besides bad teammates. But moving on in chronological order, let's talk about the missions, because that is the first thing they have listed in this little blog post. Visikovo Village, assault mode for that matter, has been added back into the Moscow campaign, as far as the map rotation goes. Quite frankly, I honestly did not even know that this map was taken out, because 9 times out of 10 they're throwing me in a conquest game mode, but I don't know, that's neither here nor there. Let me know if you guys even knew that that was out. I am very happy to see that it's back in, because Invasion and Assault are, my two favorite game modes. They remind me very much of Battlefield, but yeah, I'm glad to see that they added more, maps, or I guess taking maps out and putting them back in. They also added a new version of the Lebre invasion mission for the Normandy campaign, in which the Allies are attacking the Germans instead of vice versa. So, I'll go be, trying to get some gameplay for that. Let me know if you guys want to see that down in the comments. A small modification to specialty soldiers. As far as, engineers and flame troopers, basically any soldier that has a particular item on their back that you would actually want to have on you at all times, you will no longer be able to swap that item out for like a submachine gun or any other weapon for that matter. So, that is that on that. As far as the AI soldiers go, AI soldiers will no longer prevent players from building anymore. So if you are trying to build a rally point or a sandbag and they so happen to be standing in front of you or in the silhouette of the item you are trying to make, that will no longer be prevented. They also improved the system of detection for them as well, because you know how before they would basically be able to see you all the way across the map and shoot you through the sniper scope with no problem, no hesitation whatsoever. According to this post, AI will now be less effective at detecting enemies from behind and from the flanks, if they do not shoot, that is. This should make their behavior a little more realistic and allow for greater efficiency in flanking maneuvers, which I would highly recommend for you console players out there. I do not see that enough from y'all. Little plug right there. The AI in general will also rely more on sound instead of vision, as far as detection. If the target does not move or does not shoot, it will have a very low chance of being seen at all, unless it's in direct sight, of course. They also reduce the AI alertness for people who are crouched or crawling over long distances. So if you crouch down or you're laying down, it makes you even harder to see, so that's good stuff to see. One of my personal favorite updates, or part of this update, is the change to the economics, or I guess in terms the orders that you get, bronze orders, whether they be for people or for weapons. As someone who is at the top of the list very often, this change, or anybody for that matter that's at the top of the list, this should suit you quite well. Basically, for every 3,000 campaign experience points, they will basically give you an order, and that will alternate between a weapon order and a person or a soldier order reinforcement. Every 3,000 points. So let's say you're in a game and you get 12,000 points. You're basically going to get 2 weapon orders and 2 people orders, if I'm doing the math correctly. And yeah, man, it's basically performance enhancement, not performance enhancement. It's basically per incentive to perform well in game. So anything that encourages people to get those points and play the objective, I'm all for it. As far as the battle tasks go, that's basically what levels up your battle pass now, which I think that's kind of how it should have been in the first place. Unless you get the elite one, you can only do 3 a day, but I don't know, that doesn't really matter to me because I don't see myself buying the elite pass. Another change is that you can now rep up your tiers with gold, but unless you're a pay to win kind of guy, I'm sure that doesn't really matter to you either. As far as improvements to the graphics and animations, they list that they added effects for tank shell penetration when hitting different objects. They also added some visual effects for the tanks and machine guns hitting different objects. And they added a reload animation for the M2 hide, which is, I believe that's just a weapon I don't have yet. If you actually use that, let me know how that's working out for you. And this is just a personal opinion, but like I said, I've been playing this last week, and it feels to me, generally speaking, like the movement speed has been upped, just overall. Like, I feel like the soldiers are running faster and like the tanks are moving faster. I play on PS5, so let me know if you guys are feeling a similar vibe, because I don't know, I just felt like we were moving way faster than before, especially the tanks. The tanks are moving a lot more smoother. A lot more smoother. I'm just enjoying them more overall. They also decided to touch up the interface in this game. The camera direction marker in transports is now more visible. I don't really use transport vehicles like that unless I'm trying to just get a quick flank at the beginning of the game, so meh. You can put down, when you can mark enemies, right? Like L2 and up or LT and up, depending on your respective console. You can mark people, but you can now take them away. I don't really know how I feel about that. I'm like, that's kind of a meh kind of thing. I guess you don't want people to be spamming red arrows all over the place, but in this game I feel like the more you mark the better. If you earn a battle hero badge, it will now be shown on all squads in the debriefing, blah blah blah. Start animations when a new soldier is delivered. They added ammo icons in the menu, basically just so you know what kind of gun you're looking at. Meh. When you try to use the enemy supply crate, it will let you know that it is an enemy supply crate. I actually appreciate this change a lot, because you'll just think you can get some ammo off a box and you can't. You will actually have to look at it and see what kind of equipment is on it, whether it is German or American, clothing. What else? You can now change your squad in practice mode. So if you guys like to get in there and practice, you can do that with your flame squad, switch to your engineer squad real quick, your gunner squad, get your bearings. So that's actually very convenient, as opposed to going back to the main menu and coming back over and over again. Tutorial checkpoint zones, I already did the tutorial like a month or so ago, so I'm not even worried about that. Disconnected players are grayed out, so if somebody leaves the game, basically their name will be grayed out and you will know that they left the game. One thing I like about this game is that you can actually come back, you can reconnect, so that's very convenient. Another big change that I think you guys are going to be very fond of is the fact that they reworked how you throw grenades. So when you're holding a grenade, no matter what kind of throwable object, you will hold up your left hand, and basically the guiding point is going to be your thumb. Wherever your thumb is looking, that's where you're going to throw your set item. So be on the lookout for that, and try to throw in those throwing power perks. Those are very useful. You will no longer be able to jump and aim at the same time, which basically makes people move more realistically. I'm all for it. Like I said, they removed the temporary immunity of soldiers when spawning at rally points. You are now prohibited from building rally points near stationary spawn points. So basically, wherever the flags are, you can't build a rally point by there, because that would be useless anyways. I'm all for that change as well. Now in the invasion mode, spawn points will move up immediately after a strategic zone is captured. That's good, because nobody wants to, oh, you just caught the objective, but you still making you spawn all the way in the back where you guys just came from. It takes long enough to run in this game as is. This was a very interesting one to me. So basically, when two rally points are built within close proximity of one another, they will apparently be grouped into one rally point, and you will spawn at either one of them, depending on, I guess, where the enemies are. That's very interesting. So basically, I'm not going to say it's a smart thing to do, but I guess it's kind of convenient, so you're not really like, oh, you can't build a point here because there's another one too close. So I guess a little more freedom of where you want to flank. I don't know. I guess I don't mind it. So now supply drops from dismantled crates will actually depend on the amount of unused ammo in it. This is actually news to me, because I didn't even know ammo crates had a particular amount of ammo when you made them. So that's cool. Tutorial added a special target tank entity. Added actual tanks as target practice. I would actually recommend going into the practice mode and working on your tanking skills, because tanks are very, very useful in this game. And I don't know, it's just I hate to see people who use them, because the game kind of makes you use them. You have to have them in your squad lineup. So I don't see a reason to not get used to them and get used to using them. I would recommend it. The rest of the stuff in this little update article is just a bunch of small fixes here and there. I guess I'll go over the ones that really stick out to me. The first one I saw that I really liked was that picked up bolt action rifles, or I guess the Car 98, will resemble the actual properties of a bolt action rifle. I've only seen this like once, but apparently, like if you have an automatic weapon and then you pick up a Car 98, the Car 98 would be like fully auto, and I was the victim of that like once or twice. It was like bah 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 bah. I'm like, oh my god, that's not a bolt action? I thought I thought it was a German with an M1 Garand, but nah, he was just going crazy. But he obviously is the best well trained soldier ever. Oh, they also made it easier to climb ladders, generally speaking. They increased the reload speed of the MAS 36, so I guess that's kind of a buff. They also increased, well, not really increased the reload speed of the MP41, but like just made it easier to switch over from the dual magazines, which I don't even know nothing about that because I did not buy that premium squad, but if you did, I'm sure you'll appreciate that as well. Oh, fun fact, they actually came out with another little update while I was editing this video. So, apparently you can now replenish the ammo of supply, the ammo. You can now replenish your grenades from supply boxes in the tutorial. So, if you want to get in there and practice your grenade throwing, I would highly recommend it since they did kind of basically change how you throw the nades now. So, definitely would recommend that as well. So the last little bit of meat and potatoes when it comes to this update is the fact that not only are they adding 3 brand new maps for each campaign, they're also literally introducing an entire brand new game mechanic, which, you know, who doesn't love getting introduced to brand new game mechanics? What they're doing now is they're adding secondary objectives into the game, or the current game that you are in. So far this is only going to take place on the new Normandy map. And how it works is like there's a very powerful bomber plane that is in the hangar, you know, somewhere on that map at one of the objectives. At some point, basically, what you're going to have to do is fight over that. And if you get control of it, you basically get what is akin to Behemoth from Battlefield 1. So I guess you could call it a power-up. So I guess if you're losing, it can help you win, or if you're winning, it can help you win faster. I'm not really too sure how I feel about the you know, the mechanic overall, because it hasn't necessarily been implemented yet, but they've just been talking about it. Although what I like where their head is at and kind of like what they're thinking about, because this could basically reinvigorate your team to push another objective. Because sometimes in the middle of an invasion game, when you're like at 1,000 and you get down to like 500, it kind of seems like your team loses morale for some odd reason. So if you were, I guess for instance, if you were to get this bomber plane and like, you know, start getting massive kill streaks on the enemy team, your team will get like reinvigorated, and you guys could either, you know, come back from the brink and win the game, or you could win the game even faster in a mercy rule kind of crushing Thanos type victory. So I like where their head is at and what they're going with that. We're going to have to see how it plays out in the game, but they said they're going to monitor that, and you know, if it works out, they'll add more. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it for the update. If you guys enjoyed that news or enjoyed the gameplay, like I said, drop that like and drop that sub. It really does help me out. I appreciate you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Black Guy out.